I'm Mishima Yuki, and you're listening to the Giant Sword Podcast, home of the second biggest group of Phantom Thieves ever. The first being me. Keck.
Hello, and welcome to this week's Giant Sword Podcast. I'm your party leader, Nick Lynn. To my side are my noble and hairy are Taylor Hoyt.
How's it going?
Maddie Lynn.
Okay, I did everything correctly. Hey.
Okay.
A little peel behind the curtain
I
there.
did everything properly.
Hopefully.
And I've been playing video games.
You know what, Maddie? I gotta say I'm a little disappointed.
Why?
You don't have your Tales of Berseria thing.
It's too late.
Too late now.
No, it's too late. It's too late.
It's too late.
We're live now.
You messed up.
Maddie messed up,
You
so
did.
she didn't do everything right.
No!
She's so ashamed now.
No,
She's like
that's
really.
what I said.
Maddie,
No.
Maddie, stay.
You shouldn't have said anything.
Maddie, no, stay.
It doesn't matter. You
No.
guys talk.
No.
You guys talk.
No.
You guys talk.
You need to be here. We don't.
Why?
Who cares about
Oh,
your
God.
This is off to a great start, guys.
Fix it!
I can't breathe.
Oh my gosh.
I told you not to do that.
I didn't do anything. Shut up. Continue.
How's everyone doing? We've been gone for 2 weeks. PSX.
There's been some high highs and some low lows. I'll say that.
Yeah,
that's
true.
what I've got to say about what's the last couple weeks.
All I know is that whenever I'm near you, everything tastes like salt.
Mm-hmm. Very salty.
Very salty, yeah. I wish I had freaking chat.
It's right there, Nick. You have both.
This is the type of
Again?
OG professionalism I want.
And it's
in all
funny.
caps.
And it's funny because this is actually live now. This is actually the podcast.
Yes, exactly.
We
You
come
should
back.
have
we
never
come-
said that. Now I'm really upset.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, you've got a really nice Santa hat and some M&M pajamas, and it looks very
And-
lovely.
And a Giants shirt, which when you're not wearing something Giants.
It's between video games or Giants, man. What do you want?
Today's Giants.
Today's Giants. So
San Francisco baseball Giants, to be clear.
It's true.
Because people always say the New York football Giants, even though the San Francisco or the baseball Giants haven't been in New York in like 50 years. But whatever. Anyway.
Yep.
What you gonna do?
What you gonna do when they come for you, bad boys?
So, Maddie,
What?
how have you been?
I'm upset I don't have my Berseria blanket.
I don't care about that. How have you been? You're not good right now, but what about before?
I binged Tokyo Xanadu for 7 hours yesterday.
Oh, wow. Nice.
Nice.
On stream or just
On stream.
Oh, cool.
It was great.
Good stream.
It was a very good stream.
It was an amazing stream.
It's an amazing stream. I've been... What have I been doing? Oh, finals week. That was fun. And then I finished and then played video games.
What are
Do-
finals?
Do you have your grades back?
Yeah.
All A's? How did that one final do where you didn't know the essay question? How did that?
Oh, God. Actually, I saw he graded it and I haven't checked it
Oh,
yet.
well, don't check now, but...
Yeah. And
Stop saying things and telling me not to do them because I'm just
I'm
going to do them.
okay.
have some willpower and not do it.
Wow. So when was the last time you ran a half marathon? Oh, my, I better go run a marathon.
Gotta go
I
run
know.
a
It's
marathon
like-
right now.
Okay.
It's fine.
Yeah. So today we got some news. It'll be a very, very heavily about our PSX experience. We've all been playing a lot of games, so we'll be talking about that a lot.
Contrary to the belief.
Yeah. So like I caught up and played a lot of games, mainly because work was extremely slow this week and I had nothing to do, so I just beat 2 games randomly. But yeah, here's the news. That this is probably oldish by now, but One Piece is kind of oldish by now. But I definitely want to talk about
The
it.
thing is that they want to hear our opinions about it. That's
I
the
know.
whole
I'm just
thing.
stating it.
Oh, yeah. We're going to do news.
For the
and then
facts.
We'll do
Yeah.
opinions.
So, first one, the piece of news we all saw coming a mile away is Ni no Kuni 2 finally officially got delayed to March 23rd.
Yes. High five.
Yeah.
More time for other stuff.
Yeah, exactly. So now it's just all Monster Hunter.
No.
Yep.
More Lost Sphere.
Lost Fear. Okay, can I just say real quick? I played the demo on the Switch. It was extremely boring. Holy shit, that game is so boring. And that was right after playing Chrono Cross, which is people say is similar. I was just so bored with that demo.
Chrono Cross.
Yeah, what did I say? No, Chrono Trigger.
You say Chrono Cross.
You did say Chrono Cross.
Ah, Chrono Trigger. But yeah, I was bored. Anyway,
Because it was a demo.
yeah, probably.
You have no idea what's going on. And you're like, what is this?
I
Why
mean-
isn't the game playing for me?
Octopath
Why isn't it telling me what to do? I know.
Octopath
But
Traveler's
no,
a great
but
demo.
to what Maddie said, Octopath Traveler, it was a demo, hooked me right away, and it was amazing.
That was a good
I don't know if
demo.
it's at the beginning of the game though, but very well maybe. I'm just saying.
I think it was.
Well, anyway, Octopath was way better. But anyway, yeah, Nino Kuni 2 delayed. Everybody saw it coming. Nobody's surprised, and pretty much everybody's happy about it.
I'm pretty happy about it.
Except Maddie, I guess.
Everyone saw it coming.
Yeah, everybody saw it coming.
Thank you.
Yeah, that's now I'm actually. I think that was probably of the 3 release dates they had after it's been delayed so many times. I think that was the best chance it had to sell really well. Now it's backed up. It might have the exact same date as God of War. That date also got leaked, even though they didn't want to confirm it at PSX. That date got leaked on the PSN store.
2 different games.
Yeah, but I'm saying its sales could be heavily affected by God of War. Is what I'm saying. So there was another game that was very close to that. Oh, they were saying Yakuza 6. I think that's different enough.
Who cares?
But I'm just saying. So you guys are both pretty okay with that. It seems like.
Yes. Because
more time to play the first one because you guys haven't played the first one yet.
That's true.
That's true.
And
got other things I gotta do.
I got Dragon Ball FighterZ to play.
Well, that's like a game that you'll just play every day.
Yeah, it'll take over everything.
Yep. And Monster Hunter World weekly hunts, as Ben Moore says. Weekly hunts.
That's for you guys.
Yeah, we'll do weekly. I'm thinking even daily hunts. Maybe get on at night, play an hour or two, just grind out some monsters. We'll get to that in a little bit because I played the beta and then the beta is coming again. Oh my gosh, Nick's computer actually worked. It finally stopped updating. So anyway, there's that. So I'm gonna do some American news first, and then I'm gonna get into a bit of Japanese news because I think it affects us. Eventually, it could affect us. So first bit of news: Pokemon Crystal coming to 3DS January 26th. Which is extremely random, but Maddie, I think, is the only one that has played Crystal here. Or have you played Crystal?
Crystal is the 2nd generation, right? And she started in
What the hell is
DS.
Crystal?
Oh, okay. Well, never mind then. None of us have played Crystal.
I believe, from what everyone's told me, I've started 4th generation. I played
But you did play
Diamond, Pearl, and Platinum.
But you did play Soul Silver and Heart Gold, which
did.
is the remakes of the 2nd generation.
Oh, okay. Well, I played Heart Gold as well.
Gold, Silver, and Crystal was the 3rd one then?
Yeah, I think Crystal's the 3rd one.
Okay. Because they've been re-releasing all the Pokemon. So Pokemon Red and Blue is on 3DS that you can download. So maybe they're just trying to release all of them.
Because all the batteries in your cartridges are now gone, so you can't save the game.
Wait, what?
What?
If you have Pokemon cartridges.
You're talking about like OG Game Boy? Yeah.
Game Boy ones. They're probably.
I guess. I don't know. Also, who has a Game Boy still? Okay. When was the last time you played it?
I don't know. It's over there.
Yeah, see? I see it, actually. It's right there. Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's cool. You know, you don't have to worry about that terrible backlighting on the Game Boy either. You can actually play it where you can see what you're doing. So, anybody interested in playing Pokemon Crystal?
No.
No. I feel like Pokemon, it makes just enough incremental updates that, like, unless you have some extremely nostalgic connection to an old one, like, there's just really no reason. Because the new ones just keep getting better. I
will say if they did a remake of Pearl or Platinum or anything, I would play it again.
Did they not? Because they seem to always do that. Like, right, the latest remakes have been Ruby and Sapphire. Is the one you played after Ruby and Sapphire? We always get into these discussions. I never know where the generations of Pokemon
It's
are.
after Ruby and Sapphire.
It is okay. So that's the next remake. So that you'll get a Switch remake, Maddie.
Dude,
So-
I'd play that again.
So here's what's gonna happen. So we're gonna get the new Switch one in 2019, and then in 2020 we're gonna get the remake of.
It's gonna be great when I hear the Team Galactic song again. I loved playing as Team Galactic because their song was the best.
The best.
The best.
Around. I'm gonna take it
It's
down.
also a stage song in Brawl,
Oh, nice.
which is awesome.
Cool. Well, speaking of more Nintendo news, they announced recently that Switch has sold 10 million units worldwide, which is pretty crazy considering that when they discontinued the Wii U, it was barely at 13 million, I think, which is really sad that the Switch will, I think by March, because so March will be the 1 year mark, it will have surpassed the Wii U in 1 year. That's crazy. So what do you guys contribute that to? Maddie, do you think it's the games? Do you think it's just the system being a hybrid? What do you think the biggest contributor to the Switch selling like crazy has been?
I feel like it's the Okay, I should stop playing Mario Kart. So I think it's because it is a first console handheld. It's like I wanted it because I can play it on the TV and then I could also take it on the go. It's awesome. I'm sure Zelda had a big thing to do about it as well. Mario Kart is an amazing multiplayer game that makes you break friendships, and it's great. It's the best game.
Yeah.
Just every game they put on this so far that I've played, which is only like 3, so sorry, but I feel like it's worked really well for the Switch specifically.
Mm-hmm.
Let me hit you with some knowledge.
Well, wait, hit us, Nick.
All right.
Some knowledge.
Switch. First, they messed up with the freaking name of the Wii U. They called it a Wii U.
Yeah.
And I worked in the industry. I worked in GameStop, and
Yeah.
everyone was like, "What's the Wii U? Is it an accessory for the Wii?" Everyone was like that.
Yeah.
And that screwed everything up. Second, it launched with a Mario game,
Mm-hmm.
a Mario Kart game, a Zelda game.
Are you talking about Switch?
Switch,
Not,
yeah, Switch.
Uh-huh.
And all those in 1 year. Of course, it's gonna sell like crazy just because Nintendo fanboys buy everything. That
Because Wii U only launched with, or it didn't launch, but it only released with like new Super Mario Wii U and like
And didn't it launch with
I didn't-
Skyward Sword?
that was a Wii game. Wii U didn't
Oh,
have
it
Skyward
was.
Sword. Yeah.
Yeah, it only had remakes, and that was like long into the.
I'm trying to think of the first big Mario Kart wasn't until the second year, I don't think. The original Mario Kart 8. And then Smash was like 2 or 3 years, and then we got Splatoon and blah blah blah. But like, yeah, it was a while before I got any killer games. Whereas Maddie said, Switch launched with like arguably one of Nintendo's best games ever, Breath of the Wild. So I think that helps a lot. No, but to go back to what you said about the Wii, I know we're kicking a dead horse on this, but I remember I was at E3 the year they announced Wii U, and nobody knew what it was because like they didn't show the tablet. They just showed the tablet. They didn't actually show the console.
The tablet was like the big selling point. It was just like, hey, look, you can play, like someone can turn on the TV and you can still play your game. And it's like, okay.
Yeah. and so nobody was like, well, they didn't show the console. So is that the tablet? Like literally like journalists, people that are in the industry and know better didn't know what it was. So if people in the know don't know what it is, like you really just pitched it horribly. So it was just a bad pitch from the start.
But if you looked close enough in the first pictures they showed, they showed the console in the background.
Yeah,
which I saw. I was like, okay, there it is. It's actually in a console.
Right, you have to really pay attention though. It's not like Switch, like that whole like I know we like to make fun of the rooftop video or whatever, but that video was so clear. It's like he's playing and then he could take it and he goes on the go, and she's like, "Oh, I'm gonna go and I'm gonna play on the rooftop."
Hipsters playing Nintendo games. Yeah.
Yeah, it was very clear what this console was. It was extremely obvious. So
Very cool. Very cool.
very cool. And yes, there's been a bunch of great games: Mario Odyssey, Splatoon 2, Mario Kart 8 Deluxe,
Yeah,
so when
has all
for-
the DLCs
Mario plus
in it.
Rabbids Kingdom Battle, great
Still waiting
game.
for that Smash port.
Wait
Come
till
on,
January. January
Sakurai.
Direct. They're gonna announce it there, and they're gonna have the Inklings, and they're gonna have Pyra, and they're gonna have
Pyra.
Oh god.
yeah. Why not? They have
No,
Shulk.
They're gonna have Rex, and Pyra's gonna be like a move or something.
Interesting. And they're gonna have the Rabbids. And
The rabbits.
No, they're gonna have
Oh,
Cloud
no.
with Tifa.
Okay, sure. Anyway, so yeah, good on the Switch. I'm excited for the second year. They're gonna have a new Fire Emblem game, maybe a new Pokemon game if they hustle, but I doubt it.
And all of Bayonetta.
Yes, yeah. Oh my God. I mean, 3 won't be out next year, but they're gonna have 1 and 2, which is something they announced at the Game Awards. So if you guys didn't watch the Game Awards, they announced. Oh, we didn't. I mean, I guess those are things to talk about.
First,
Yeah.
you remember the teaser for Bayonetta 3? Did you know what happened in that?
I mean,
Bayonetta gets ripped in half.
No.
Yeah.
How do you know?
If you watch it, the shadow guy goes like this, the screen rips in half, and then you look at Bayonetta's legs, and they go like this. And then you see the guns drop.
I think that was maybe just more of like a artistic thing.
I don't know, but that's what it's what happened. She gets ripped in half.
Interesting.
But it's also her Bayonetta 1 skin, so...
Yeah,
I don't know what
that's
all
really
about.
interesting. I don't know why they went back to that, but whatever. But yeah, so Bayonetta 1 and 2 coming to Switch in February in one package. I'm assuming you're going to have to download...
It comes. The Bayonetta 2 comes with the code to Bayonetta 1 in the package.
Yeah.
So they're doing the same thing again.
Yeah, which is great. Yeah, those are both amazing. Like 2 is way better than 1, but 1 is still a great game. So if you guys haven't played it, get it on Switch. It'll be great. I know I'm going to pick that up. February is turning into a scarily busy month. You know, they're coming. Shadow of the Colossus is going to re-release. I gotta play that. So.
I don't know.
I
It doesn't.
think-
No, I'm just still remembering PSX. You're just
Yeah,
like,
that's exactly what I'm thinking. I'm just like Shadow of the Colossus. I'm just like, I just remember that.
no,
We'll get to that in a sec. We'll get to that.
So funny.
We'll get to that. But yeah, so there's that. The next pieces of news. These are mainly like Japanese focused, but
Can confirm legs fall apart.
Really? Okay, interesting. I'll have to rewatch that trailer because I was not paying attention. I was just like, "Oh my god, 3!" I wasn't even.
You were even watching the trailer. You're just like, "Oh my god, 3!"
I was too busy freaking out. Yeah. So next piece of news: Dragon Quest Builders releases in March in Japan for Switch, which is cool. So anybody that's not played Dragon Quest Builders, I almost rebought it on Vita just because I wanted to play it on the go. So now that it's coming to Switch, that's like, I feel like you can say this about anything, but that's like the perfect way to play that game. But 2 is going to have a co-op. 1 does not. This is just purely the single-player experience, which is still really fun. One of my favorite games last year was Builders on PS4. So if you like Minecraft and just simple RPG systems, I think people will really like it, especially if you like
Here's the question.
Dragon Quest.
Are you going to rebuy the first one for Switch?
I was thinking about it. I don't think so. I definitely will buy 2 on Switch, though. Because I think there's just too many games coming out next year already, unless there's like some lull. And I feel like I've been on a pretty good roll with beating games on my backlog, which we'll get to in a sec. I know I keep saying that, but so I think I might just, if there's a lull, I might just pull out classic games to beat that I need to check off my list. So
like Mega Man X,
not like that, like old
Mega
RPGs.
Mega Man.
Mega Man X. So that's cool, and hopefully the US gets a similar release window. And the last bit of news is Cold Steel Kai, which is the PS4 remaster of Cold Steel, is releasing April 26th in Japan. So that kind of gives you a window of maybe we'll get something for us. Maybe Cold Steel 3. I don't know.
Hey, when's the news? Maddie, when's the news? When is it?
I don't know.
Oh,
But I got. Okay, never mind. That I'll get to that later.
But XE did announce some kind of like stream, or they're doing something where they had 3 silhouettes of games, and 2 of them were Senran and Kagura games. So there's a 3rd game that they're going to announce that they have not teased, or nobody knows what it is yet. So it might be Cold Steel 3, which would be nice for you guys. But
Yeah.
Is the Switch finally getting the leg slapping Senran and Kagura?
yeah, I don't know what that game's called, but maybe. Dude, that game is so ridiculous. Just huge fan service.
Yep.
So anyway, that's it for the news. I mean, there were some big things at the Game Awards. There was that thing from From Software. It just said not souls die, spirits, shadows die twice. And it was like this weird bone twisting rope thing that was all bloody, and people thought it was Bloodborne, but that's like literally all it said, which was kind of annoying.
It's Armored Core.
Yeah.
It's somehow
clearly it's Armored Core.
Somehow they're going to be like, it's Armored Core.
Yep. And your dad is apparently doing construction in the other room.
Apparently.
But I'm trying to think if there are any other big. I mean, the DLC for Zelda dropped, which is cool.
Soul Calibur 4.
Soul Calibur 6. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9.
Soul Calibur 6, which is a reboot, pretty much.
And which is pretty neat. I'm trying to think of other big announcements that were pretty cool. Those are the
Blaze Blue Cross.
Oh my gosh! Don't even get me started.
That was PSX.
That was the greatest announcement.
It was something.
It was something. It's like, yeah! Oh my gosh!
Introducing
Is that Ruby?
Ruby?
Is that Ruby? Oh my god! This was announced in August, guys.
Or should we just stop beating around the bush and talk about PSX before we talk about what we've been playing?
Yeah.
I think that's what people have been waiting the most for. So,
okay, we're just gonna. This is gonna be Taylor bitching for 30 minutes.
Yeah. So for all you guys that wanted it, here it is. But let's set the stage. So first of all, that opening ceremonies thing, everybody knew it was gonna be like, temper your expectations. It's not gonna be a big deal. It's gonna be more relaxed. And like, okay,
we can talk about stuff.
But we still lined up almost 3 hours early for that, and there was a huge line. So like, it was obviously a big deal. There was a big line. People showed up at that thing. So like, okay, cool. And you walk in there, and they have the whole big stage, and you're like, oh, maybe this is going to be a bigger thing than we thought. And
then you see all the couches.
And there was a bunch of couches. I'm like, oh, I guess I didn't really look into what this was going to be. So, but then it started off. It was Sean Layden and I forget what the guy's
Sam.
No.
It was yeah. I think it was.
That's not his name. Anyway, he's Sid Schumann. Thank you. He's one of the social media guys for PlayStation Blog and for PlayStation. Does a lot of their media. He can come off as a shill at times, if I can be frank. Like, he's like, oh my gosh, this is going to be a great evening, guys. PlayStation has the best lineup ever. Like, just stuff like that. It's like, okay, just, we see through the BS. Just, like, keep it real, And him and Sean Layden were just kind of BSing. And then, like, slowly but surely, they brought out developers. Like, they brought Herman Hulst from Guerrilla Games to talk about Horizon.
That's already out.
Which is already out. They brought out Cory Barlog to talk about God of War, and they showed the same trailer from E3.
No, it's Paris Games Week.
Paris Games Week, you're right.
But they had exclusive director commentary on this one.
Excuse
Where
me.
And they're like,
we realize the kid talks too much,
and
so,
which he does.
so we're fixing that.
Okay. I didn't really have a problem with that, but cool. Yeah, they did have he did have commentary. The one thing that was actually interesting, they brought out the director for Dreams from Media Molecule, and they finally explained like what it was. Like it's apparently there's an actual single player component to it.
It's getting really annoying.
Yeah. So they have like a real single player component.
I can go tell him.
Nah, it's fine. He'll stop.
Yeah.
Hopefully, if not, it's too much trouble for you to get through. I'll do it. But yeah. So they had Dreams. I didn't know what it was. They kind of explained what it is, and they were saying. I mean, we all knew about the creation aspect of it, but apparently it's like extremely powerful. You can.
Yeah, they showed off. There's actually like a music creator, like a full blown.
I didn't see that.
Creator.
I wasn't.
And I was like, holy crap! This is like a music creator. Like,
yeah.
You could do like beats and like add like sounds and everything, so you can make your own soundtrack.
Well, that's neat. I mean, the game is as deep as you want it to be, but I think for me, when I look at that, I'm like, that's just too overwhelming. I'll never be able to make a thing like.
It's not a game for us.
No, like when you like something like Mario Maker is a little bit more straightforward, where it's just a platforming thing, and with the tablet, it's very easy to design levels and then test them right away. But this is like you can make whatever. So I don't know. It just seems too overwhelming. I don't think it's going to do very well. But hey, I can be surprised. I've been very wrong about things like that in the past. So who knows?
Like this PSX.
Oh. And so yeah, and then the thing that I think annoyed me more than anything about when they brought people out, they brought Kojima out, and they literally showed that entire 8-minute trailer again. I'm like, why? What does that add? Like, why would you show that trailer again?
Whoa, Taylor. The commentary about the Big Bang stuff happened at the beginning rather than the end.
That was different.
You're right.
I was when I heard it, like, oh, thank goodness, it's gonna be different.
And, exactly
and
the
then
same.
it went on to be exactly the same. Yeah. Like, oh, why would you do that? I think one part that was really funny. So Andrew House came out, and him and Kojima were sitting next to each other, and Mark Cerny's like, so how did Death Stranding come together? And then Kojima's like, well, it's a third-person action game, and blah, blah, blah. And then Cerny's like, so how did this game come together? Like, he didn't answer the question.
And then he just stayed silent.
Yeah.
He's like, okay, moving on.
Yeah, and then eventually Andrew House kind of described how that game came together, which is pretty cool.
It was cool hearing their history, too.
Yeah.
But I think the best part of that thing was, oh my gosh. What's
Blaze
it
Blue?
No, Detroit.
Oh, the
Detroit.
Detroit,
My God,
the
I got really into that. 'Cause I hadn't seen it before.
Detroit was like super intense, and we're screaming.
Pick up the fish! Pick up the fish!
Save the fish!
And then he wouldn't do the things he's saying. He's like, "You're not doing what we're saying."
I thought he was doing almost
someone
everything we were
screamed that.
saying.
I know.
So just to better describe this, so somebody on stage was playing Detroit, and
Wasn't
he
it
was
the developer?
asking the crowd for suggestions of what to do next.
Yeah, it was a developer.
Yeah, I was a developer, yeah. And eventually, I think he knew he was going to do what he was going to do anyway. I don't
Yeah.
think he was actually taking suggestions. So he completed that little scenario, which apparently is the very beginning of the game, which is nice to know. But that game looks really cool, actually. Like I'm kind of down with those kind of games. Like Until Dawn.
That is a stream game.
Yeah, that's a good stream game for sure.
It looked really intense. I was just like getting goosebumps. Like all this stuff's happening. The music was like building around. I was like, oh god, we gotta do this. The percentages are going up and down. You hear people going, oh god, oh no.
So real quick, so Craftium says the beginning of that conference was them just literally listing games and waiting for people to cheer, which was totally true. It's like, so Nier and Persona 5 came out this year, yeah, great game. It was like, okay,
they were good games.
I mean, okay,
yeah.
it was strange seeing Nier and Persona and Lost Soul Aside in a montage.
Yeah, that was really weird.
I was like, whoa,
That was
that's cool.
awesome.
but it was
That montage was like the coolest
Yeah, it was like
thing.
the most goosebump
yeah
thing.
And then they would like randomly like, well, we've been talking a long time. Should we just show some trailers randomly? And then they would just show trailers.
Okay, I want to talk about that. So they showed Soul Calibur 6, like actual gameplay. And I was like, oh, that's cool. It looks really cool.
Yeah.
And right after, it goes to Capcom, and everyone's like, oh my god! Oh, Devil May Cry 5! Oh! And I just screamed out, it's freaking Monster Hunter!
Yeah.
And everyone is just silent after that.
That's not what happened at all, actually. But okay,
Yeah,
Nick can believe that.
I said it was Monster Hunter. You remember
But they weren't quiet because of
I
you.
know, they weren't
Yeah, they weren't quiet because
No,
of
but
that.
everyone got quiet, though.
Yeah, because it was, you could clearly tell when the trailer began,
Yeah.
it was Monster Hunter. But yeah, I mean, that was actually a cool trailer.
That was a cool trailer.
But
People were freaking out.
it was
because
Monster
Devil May
Hunter.
Cry.
Yeah. I think the one that annoyed me the most, and I watched Maximilian Dude's reaction to this.
Wasn't he just like,
No, it was Blaze Blue, they showed Blaze Blue cross tag, but I was like, oh, cool, who are they going to announce next? And it was literally
No
like,
one.
so Leonard said that apparently they showed some new characters, like Maddie said Yukiko was in it. There was some other guy.
They showed all the characters they've announced already. It wasn't the same trailer that was in EVO. But
it might as well have been.
But then it showed Ruby yet then, and I'm like, what the heck?
Yeah, there's like a dramatic pause, and everyone was just like, oh no, and then you see the rose petals, and we just all turned to each other. It's like, this isn't going to be Ruby again, is it?
Yeah.
Guess who's like ready to join? Rose Ruby. What?
Yeah.
But they did show, like, the funny thing is, like, a couple days after, they showed new characters. Like,
wait, really?
Yeah, they showed, like, new characters that are outgoing. I'm like, okay, why wasn't that then not at PSX?
In the moment, unless you knew that game intimately, it very much just seemed like the EVO announcement trailer, especially when they ended on the Ruby trailer or the Ruby announcement. I'm like, why are you treating this like it's a new announcement? It was just bizarre. Like that one, of all of those, that was the one that was like the strangest.
It was like
to
Arc System Works, like, oh sweet, Persona 5 Arena, and then and I'm like, what?
I was actually thinking it might have been Dragon Ball Fighters. Like they were gonna announce a new Dragon Ball Fighters character, but
because Dragon Ball Fighters has like a thing with Microsoft.
Yeah, right. You're right. But still, I was thinking that even if it was like, they're gonna announce Kanji, I'm like, oh, this is just the same trailer.
It's the same exact trailer. Okay.
And then it just sort of stopped, and we're like, that was a giant waste of time.
And I was hoping there was gonna be like another break with more trailers in it.
No, they're all like, okay, guys, you guys should all stay because we're gonna get this one dude up here to do a thing.
Yeah, it was Greg Miller was going to interview Shuhei and Sean Layden, and
we're like, who cares?
Yeah, and we just laughed and we're like, that was dumb. So
no, you forgot the biggest thing.
Okay.
What was on Sean Layden's shirt?
Oh, they announced a Medieval remaster for PS4. They didn't show any gameplay, so I guess that was a big deal for some people. I guess. I mean, I never played any of those games. I know Nick likes playing them in PlayStation All Stars.
You can't beat me.
Unless I play with Sly, I can beat you sometime.
With Sly, you can probably beat.
Yeah.
Who played as Sackboy? Is that Nick still?
We both kind of play with him every once in a while.
When that game was out, there was a bunch of messages saying how Sackboy was super cheap and you could do this stupid thing that like builds meter way too fast. Geez, stop dropping your phone.
Yep.
And it was the day before he was gonna get nerfed. So we started streaming, and we had that huge thing where we just started like throwing a bunch of gels at people with the fans, and they couldn't hit us.
That was amazing.
And we were just like giggling and laughing like little girls the entire time. There's a video of this, by the way.
Yeah, it's on my channel. Yeah, which is pretty funny. But
and we just kill them. It was really funny.
Yeah, we had a lot of fun with that. But that was like the big reveal of that whole thing was just a Medieval remaster. And I'm like, okay. They announced some VR things, I guess. They announced like a Last Guardian VR demo thing. They announced
a first
VR
shooter.
There's a lot of VR in this one.
Yeah,
every big announcement was VR.
Yeah, so if you own PSVR, this was probably awesome for you because you got a bunch of games. Yeah, dude,
that was cool.
Like Puke Simulator. Like, that game's gonna be like extremely.
I'm gonna ask Jake. Jake, can I borrow your VR? I'm gonna play some Wipeout. I'm gonna puke all over the place.
Jeez, that's gonna be insane. So to me, I think we like, and it wasn't just us that felt like that thought that was bad. And here's the weird thing: is everybody had like bottom basement like expectations, and people were still disappointed. Like I watched the Easy Allies reaction, I watched the Maximilian's reaction, and he was just like, "That was like the most ridiculous thing I've ever seen." Like everybody hated it. Like we went to the Easy Ally meetup later, and I asked Kyle Bossman, and he's like, "Yeah, it was bad." So like it wasn't just us. But then I was like, okay, you know what? That was bad, but tomorrow's the show floor. Tomorrow's the show floor.
They showed the show. I remember they were like, this is the biggest PSX ever.
Yeah, they did say that.
The show floor is awesome, amazing.
Let's go to
They were hyping it up, just like huge, like
They showed off the photo booths. Yeah, and only the photo booths.
They showed off the photo booths. I was like,
here's the thing that I think they lied about. So I remember Sid Schumann saying we have over 80 PSVR experiences, and I'm like, as we went around the show floor, I'm like, did he mean like literally 80 individual stations? Because maybe that's correct, but there's no way there were 80 VR games there. There's just no way.
I'm going to tell you this, Taylor. You skipped over a lot of games. You were so mad that yours weren't looking at.
No, the second day, I actually tried to walk around and look at things. I mean, we came across a lot of booths, like as we kind of went into the cracks and stuff. I'm like, oh, there's actually things here that I didn't see the first day. But I will say, like, I think this is undeniable that this was like the emptiest the PSX show floor has ever been.
Yeah, well, the thing is, I keep saying the thing is, the show floor was bigger, but they didn't fill it up.
Right.
Like they had a lot more room than last year, but they didn't fill it up as much.
Well, like we said, we thought they were going to be here, but they just straight up weren't. Like Square Enix and Bandai Namco weren't there, and those are huge publishers that have a ton of games that could have filled up that space, and they just weren't there. And we don't know why, but they just weren't there, which sucks. And a lot of that space was with those giant photo booths we were talking about. So Days Gone, God of War, and Spider-Man all had these giant photo booths where you could take these really cool pictures, these little interactive walkthrough things, but you couldn't play any of them.
Yeah, it was like going to Disneyland. Like going to like one of those Disneyland, the castle experiences.
Yeah, I mean, like, if you're really into those games, like, that's cool to walk through, but I'm like, well, we can't play them? All right.
Yeah, I was like, what is this?
So...
And the two other big games that were there, which was Detroit and...
Shadow of the Colossus.
I think there's more than just that required...
Almost every...
I went to the app. It was Shadow of the Colossus, and there was, like, 4 separate things for Detroit. And that was it.
And then VR you needed.
And then there's a VR thing.
So here's the other thing. I think this was what pushed me over the edge. We walk up to the Shadow of the Colossus booth. There's like no line. I'm like, this is weird. Why is there no line? And so I talk to the guy, and he's like, oh, you need an appointment for it. And we're like, that sucks. I was like pretty mad then. But then we tried to get an appointment, and they're all gone in like seconds. And Maddie got one at like 6:30. But I'm like, well, we're going to the Easy Allies thing, so we can't make it. And then when we checked the app later, the whole other day was filled up. I'm like, well, this is just stupid. Like, the only 2 big games that had lines were Far Cry 5 and Monster Hunter. Like, you can wait in line if you want. And I'm like, at least you get a chance to play the game. If you don't get an appointment with these others, you're just out of luck. Like, that sucks. I was mad.
Yeah, I think the thing was, I keep saying that. It's
fine.
Last year, I bet you there was a lot of long lines, and people were complaining about it. And it's like, oh, let's do this new thing. Let's make us do appointments for it, so we have not as long lines. Mm-hmm. And that backfired. So
yeah, hugely.
Yeah.
So because like I've beat Shadow of the Colossus like 3 times, so it's not like I need to replay it. I really just wanted to see what it looked like, which we did. We like watched somebody play it.
You were getting so mad.
Yeah,
too. Someone was playing it. Really
It was clear that they've never played Shadow of the Colossus before. So the first Colossus, you climb on their calf and you stab the calf, and I'm like, just jump on the calf, and they kept trying to shoot it with the bow and arrow. I'm like, what are you doing? I was going crazy.
Taylor was right behind this poor girl.
Yeah,
and then he was like, what are you doing? Oh my god, I can't watch her so bad. I'm like, Taylor, calm down. She
the poor girl had no idea what was going on.
Thankfully, she had headphones on.
She had headphones on.
I was like, dude, calm down, man. It's fine. And
while they were doing that, I was talking Persona 5 with someone else, so it was great.
Yeah, one of the people that worked there.
Yeah, Maddie had her Joker costume on. She was getting a lot of pictures, which was pretty fun, I'm sure.
It's funny because right when we left the hotel, someone asked for a picture.
Yeah.
That's right. Yeah, right outside the hotel.
This is going to be the entire day, isn't it?
Just like, oh my god. Get a picture of you.
And then here's the other thing. I think that maybe, I don't know if insulting is the right word, but maybe more insulting than all this was a lot of the games there were already out. Like you go to the Sega booth, it was Sonic Mania and Sonic Forces.
At least we got to try Sonic Forces, and I laughed at how bad it was.
Yeah, I'm like, well, I'm glad I didn't buy that, because I was actually like from the trailers, I'm like, this actually looks all right, but it was not Sonic Generations 2. That's what I thought it was going to be, and it was clearly not. But then, I mean, like they had Dragon's Crown on PS4. I'm like, okay, that game's out. Like, I don't really care.
I don't think it's out on PS4. But
the PS3 version's out. It's the same thing. It just looks prettier, right?
It was very pretty. And
they had a huge Call of Duty. They had Battlefront.
Yep.
It's like, what? These games are out. And then they had this giant, I don't know if you saw this. They had this giant, like, Uncharted thing where you could go through this big line and take pictures and play, like, Uncharted 1 through 3. I'm like, those games have been out for a very long time.
I wonder what was inside, like, the thing. It was like a shop, a specific shop or something that you had to wait in line.
Yeah. I don't know.
I peeked in there and it looked just like a dusty old office that like had stuff hanging in it.
That was supposed to be a recreation of Nate's attic, maybe. I didn't get a good enough look at it.
Hey, the MLB bar was there. We should have went there. That should have like come.
We walked through the. I mean, to get some drinks would have been nice, but yeah, they had the MLB bar.
Oh my god, that reminds me. I'm so pissed off. All I want is this soda right now. And then the soda machine didn't work.
That was amazing. So I'm like, I was so mad. I'm like, I'm just going to get a soda and this will calm me down. And so I go to the soda machine, and I didn't have any cash. So I just tried to swipe my credit card. But the way the credit card machine was set up, it was like this. So if you try to slide your card, it would hit like a bump. So I couldn't even slide my card. I'm like, I can't even get a soda. It was so mad.
It was so mad.
Like, and then like the entire like. Everything bad.
It was just like one thing after another. Just I'm like, this show is just actively trying to piss me off.
It didn't stop there.
Oh yeah, and then you got a food truck thing, and then it wasn't even that good.
Oh yeah, there were these food trucks. Apparently he was a chopped champion. I'm like, this is like the most disgusting sloppy roasted pork or whatever it was. It was so gross. And then I think later we went to like just some hamburger place in the hotel. I'm like, this hamburger was better than this food truck, and it was like half the price.
Where do you go get hamburgers?
It was in the hotel where the Sbarro was. There was other food there.
Oh yeah.
I just went and got a burger.
The day we left. I mean, the second day, right?
Which is the day we left.
Which is the day we left. That's why I remember it.
And then I'm trying to think of what else we played. Okay, so like positive.
Lost Soulside.
The best game we played was Lost Soulside, and I knew it was going to be there, and I knew it was going to be great. So basically, Lost Soulside we've talked about on this podcast is basically.
No, we talked about an LSG cast.
What did we?
No, we did. Yeah, one of the first episodes with Ben.
Yeah.
Right.
So looking at the game, it looks like a Final Fantasy 15 ripoff. If you've watched the trailer, so it was one guy. Now apparently he has a team of 9 people, which is cool because I talked to one of the publishers. They have this thing going on called the China Hero Project, which is some publisher in China like picked 4 games. Like, we're going to support these guys and we're going to pay for their game and whatever. So Lost Soulside now has a real team. And so the demo was basically just a boss room, and
it's like a rush of enemies to like get you started, and then a boss that spawn. It was like made specifically to be the demo. Wasn't part of the game,
right? And it plays like an extremely fast Dark Souls because it's super hard. Like, you get hit like 3 times and you're dead. And so they give you a lot of potions, but like still, like I think. Initially, Maddie had the best run because she used a special move on accident and killed all those fire guys. And then
totally on purpose. What are you talking about?
Yeah, of course. And then Nick
I want to tell the story.
Okay, and then I got to the boss. I got to his second form, couldn't beat him, and I think the same thing with Maddie.
Well,
no one could beat him.
No, I was learning it, right? I was like, okay, I got this. I'm learning like I was figuring out how to move properly and like switching weapons because I was using a weapon that wasn't working well with me, and I was like, I was learning it. And then you get to the second phase. I'm like, okay, let's see what this boss does. 1 hit KO, and I'm like, okay. And then she's like, and then the lady walks up and she's like, okay, you're done. I'm like, but
you took too long in the first form,
I guess. And so Nick.
So what I was doing, I played it, and I was learning how to play it, and I noticed that normal dodge sucks.
Yeah, I didn't use ghost.
Never use normal dodge. Mm-hmm. Always use ghost dodge, especially in the first on the boss. So
those buttons were weird. Okay.
To ghost dodge, it was X and square at the same time, which was really weird. Like, I almost feel like don't have the other dodge or use that different button.
But I'm used to playing Mega Man, so it's fine.
I get yeah.
Anyway, so it was just like bam, 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 and you always kept getting hit with him grabbing you.
He has this move where he grabs you, and I just kept what killed me.
He telegraphed it so much, so I was like dodge, so I didn't get touched in the first half.
Nick's just saying you're bad, Taylor.
No, it's just.
If I had a second try, I mean, nobody had a second try was the problem. But
so,
yeah.
I mean, you could have gotten line again.
Second half. Well, the line got huge, and it stayed that line.
Yeah, people like really like. I think the word spread around the con, like, oh, this game's awesome, and like everybody went and tried to play it. By the second day, it was super long. Yeah.
So there's obviously a developer was watching us play. And he was watching me play, and second form, and it was hard. The ghost dodge wasn't dodging as well anymore, and I used the dragon attack. It was like
dragon bite.
The dragon bite, the super special move, and it made he was like halfway already, and he froze. He was like in like super slow mo, and I was like going as fast as I can. Yeah. I guess. The game, like, it was supposed to give you, like, slow-mo for a little bit, but it didn't stop. So the boss just stayed in slow-mo, and I just destroyed him, like, oh, okay, I'm just going to kill him.
And then he got to, like, a fifth of the boss life left, and then he just instantly killed him.
Yeah.
The game glitched out. Just like, oh, you won.
Yep. I killed him.
As far as I knew, that Nick was the only one that beat him.
Like, the lady comes up to me and is like, you were the first person to beat him. I'm like, yeah, I glitched the game out. The developer was not around to see it. Like, he saw what happened and just left.
That's amazing.
So he was like, oh, that's a bug I gotta fix.
So anyway, that's kind of the end of my salty rant. I feel like that I said what I wanted to say. Like, the opening thing sucked. There wasn't a lot to play. The appointment thing was totally broken. They needed, like, if they're gonna do PSX next year, they have to completely either go back or rethink it because it was just a huge disappointment all the way around. But were there other games that you guys actually? I mean, Chasm was cool. We played Chasm.
Tokyo Xanadu. I
wanted
wanted to go around and look for games to play, but you were super salty, and I was like, I don't want to be around you like this, so just leave.
Yeah.
And so I was
that was a great idea, though.
What?
Just leaving.
Just leave. For you because you were in so
I
much
was
pain.
also in a lot of pain because I was in my Joker outfit and my boots.
Wait, you
really
wanted
hurt.
you to leave the con, or you wanted to stay by yourself?
No, I wanted to play still, but you guys didn't want to leave, so I was like, oh, fine, I'll leave.
I feel like we were better the second day. I feel like the disappointment had all drained out. Let's just see what it is.
We got there so late. I was like, damn it, because Capcom Cup already started. So I was like, I wanted to see Capcom Cup.
Oh
so
my
I was
god! Thank God we didn't get there early. Then
what?
I would have been dead if we
what?
stayed any longer. At
Oh my
that
god! I had
Capcom
such a
Cup.
huge headache.
I had the
But
biggest headache. I was freezing to death, and I
No, we would still go to Capcom Cup at the same time. It was just I wanted to come earlier so we could play.
Oh.
Go hang out in the con and play around.
Oh no, I was totally fine. I was just going right into Capcom Cup.
But Capcom Cup was awesome.
yeah, that was the ending with Birdie was sick. Yeah, the double comeback out of losers bracket. That was cool.
Maddie, I just saw her texting people. I don't know what's going on.
What's going on? I see things, and I'm like, everyone's like, "Oh my god, that was so cool!" I'm like, "Yeah, that looks really cool."
But if Taylor could get into it when he has like a basic knowledge of fighting games.
I just think
It's interesting to watch. I was just miserable because I had a huge headache and I was freezing.
Yeah, those thunder sticks were a bad idea because they didn't have those last year, and so they just gave me the biggest headache. I'm like, shut up!
And then you guys were like, oh, such a huge headache, and I'm like, all in like a nice high because of all the stuff, all the news that was announced. And I was like, what? You feel bad? I feel awesome.
I mean, the Capcom Cup was cool, but my god, correct me if I'm wrong, but they didn't have the thunder sticks last year.
They didn't. No.
Okay, they need to not do that because it was. I mean, it made for.
Look in the trash. I think there's thunder sticks right there.
Literally, I see it. Yep.
Well,
it was too loud and annoying. They can't do that again. Oh my gosh, I had a headache. But anyway, to rewind a bit, what other games did you guys actually enjoy playing?
So my favorite game to play was Tokyo Xanadu.
Okay.
Which was at home.
Yeah.
Which then turned around, ironically, and kind of pissed me off. Because I was all like, this game is amazing. Oh my god, I can't wait to play. This has been at my house for 2 days.
Yep.
I could have been playing this this whole time.
And I got it delivered on that Sunday, too. I was like, yep, I have it now. And, Tokyo Xanadu was funny, but that silly, stupid high school girl in zombie shooter
really
game.
enjoyed just looking
High
at
school
her.
zombie hunter or whatever.
Looking at him like, this is ridiculous. It's so funny.
Yeah,
And then at first I was like, oh, it's like a non-High School of the Dead kind of shooter, no fan service.
Yeah.
Oh, no,
how wrong I was!
You get injured and the clothes are
the clothes
flying
get
off.
ripped off, and I think at the end I saw a girl completely nude, full-blown nude.
But it was covered with something.
I didn't know it was her back, so she had no bra on or anything, and I was like, is there full-blown nudity in this game?
There's no way. It'd have to be an adult-only game.
It's rated. No, it doesn't. It'd be a rated M game. It could be rated M game.
Yeah, I guess you're right.
But I was just I was laughing. I was like, well, I was completely wrong about this game. This is a Taylor game. We need to get it for him.
Senran Kagura was a sort of a joke game, but it's sort of okay.
was fun.
But I don't know. I wouldn't buy more of them.
It was just really funny.
But yeah.
Because I was watching it, and I'm like, this looks interesting and fun. Turn and watching you play Tokyo Xanadu. Turn around, and it's the girls are talking, and the girl's shirt is completely ripped apart, and I'm like, oh.
And
That was the second day, though, right?
That was the second day.
That was when it was just we realized, because the first day of Tokyo Xanadu, we walked up and was like, oh my god, boss, and we played a boss, and Nick actually sucked at it because he had Lost Soul Side still in his head.
I was playing Lost Soul Side.
Yeah, the controls. Tokyo Xanadu is way slower.
And I know
not anymore. But
so
okay.
I was playing it, and I kept doing because Triangle in Lost Soul Side was heavy attack, and I kept doing, but in Tokyo Xanadu it was switch characters. So I would do all these combos, and then suddenly my characters go, my turn, and I'm like, oh, my turn.
Whoops,
messing up.
Yeah,
it was great just walking and playing it, and then I played it, and I got it really fast. And we walk in the next day, and we watch someone they're running around. I'm like, is this a dungeon? And we see story moments starting to play out. And I was, are we just playing the game? Yes, we were.
Yeah,
we were totally playing
just
the
straight
game.
up we're playing the first
we
chapter.
Were just playing
yeah,
the first chapter because at the end of beating the boss, it's chapter 1, Finn, ding. Start side story. Oh, I think we went too far. And the whoever was monitoring was like, okay, let me take that and load it up again.
Yeah,
okay.
That was pretty funny. Oops. All right.
I just remember we were watching him this looks exactly like Cold Steel.
Dude.
Everything.
Oh yeah, it's straight up Cold Steel. I mean, the play's totally different, but
it was funny.
The look is very similar.
That's because it's.
I haven't. Yeah, this is. Oh, and it's not mine.
That's
this
mine.
is Maddie's. Mine's up there. Mm-hmm. I haven't opened it. I haven't played it yet because I've been playing a lot of Xenoblade 2. I want to get that done first.
Right.
But I'm like getting overwhelmed with the games. I got Xenoblade. I got to play Kingdom Hearts for JRPG journals, and I got to play Tokyo Xanadu.
I mean, you don't have to play Tokyo Xanadu.
Which I have to do. I want to do a video with it, like a first 1 hour impression.
Well, there you go. Cool.
Okay.
But I feel like clearly the game of the weekend was Donkey Kong Country.
Donkey Kong Country was the game.
Was the game of the weekend.
Okay. So everyone's super salty and disappointed. I was fine.
We got food.
They got food,
Walked
and
to
we
the
go.
hotel.
This is like at 2 p.m. We get back, and we hook up my SNES Classic, and we play Donkey Kong Country, and we just played it up until like 6. And
I took a nap. It was fantastic. But yes, hearing the mixture of Taylor playing it and then Grace's commentary in the background was just the best.
It was the greatest because Grayson somehow was like an expert on this game.
Yeah, he just knew where every secret was.
It was the weirdest thing.
Yeah.
Taylor left to get some Gatorade for everyone at the store, and Grayson started playing it. And this guy, not a gamer, he like tends to make fun of gamers all the time. Like, he's like, "You guys need to get a life," and he starts playing Donkey Kong, and he's like a perfect expert. He's like, "Watch this. Here, look at the secret." Poof. Pulls it off. I'm like, what the hell, man? What is this? This like changes my perspective on you.
Yeah, like I was shocked. At first I'm like, oh, he's just talking out his ass or whatever. But no, he just knew where all the secrets was. Like, yeah, if you go up there, I think there's a secret. Oh, if you jump on this guy, that's how you beat this. And I'm like, wow, okay. Yeah. I guess the Super Nintendo was like his era where he played a lot of games. Yeah. But it kind of blew my mind. It was really weird.
That was really funny.
But.
So, Epilogic said he finished Tokyo Xanadu.
Oh my gosh, the game's like been out like a week, if that.
Binge it.
It's
Maddie.
It's a 50-hour game, 60-hour game.
Yeah. For Nick, that's like a 300-hour game.
No, for me, it's gonna be a 300-hour game.
Why?
When we get to what we've been playing.
Okay. Well, is there any other closing thoughts you want to have on PSX?
I had fun.
I mean, there were fun moments.
It was a nice, relaxing. It was nice and relaxing.
Yeah, you just like getting away from here for some reason.
I like getting away from the monotony of life. Yes.
Yeah,
something different.
It was nice. It was nice to have a vacation. I'll say that. But
it was December. It was freaking 90 degrees out. What the hell, LA?
And it was extremely staticky. We kept static shocking each other like everywhere we went. It was really. I wonder if it had something to do with the fires.
And then on Sunday, I got really. I didn't feel well when we drove home. I started getting worse, and then Monday it was really bad.
You had Monday off though, right?
I did.
Yeah, okay.
But I didn't do anything because I was just like in bed doing nothing.
And I had to take off to do a final.
Hey, at least we didn't drive home Monday morning.
Which was the original plan. And thank goodness we got
I like
money
how we
back,
got
right?
home basically around the time I'd usually go to bed anyway.
Yeah, and
Grayson flew, and I slept, and then we got there. It was like 1:30. I'm like, wow, Grayson drove really fast. Okay.
Yeah, oh gosh, I didn't feel well.
But I think that was probably a good decision overall. But anyway.
Yeah. Do that next year?
Maybe. I honestly, I'm seriously debating going again if that's what the show's going to be. Like, they need to bring back all the publishers.
Okay,
they need to have...
Okay, that's strike one. On strike two, if it happens again, then we have to wait until like the very end.
I guess, yeah. I mean, if you were like, hey, would you rather go to Fanime for a weekend or would you rather go to PSX? I mean, Fanime was way better, yeah?
Yeah.
But we did everything on the first day.
But still, like, there's like panels we didn't go. There's like a lot that goes on at Fanime that we didn't check out. Like, I really want to go to the Crunchyroll Expo next year because they had a ton of panels that like, they had like voice actors and like Giguk was there and stuff like that. I think actually Fruitcake was there doing something. She was like a cosplayer doing something for Bandai Namco. But anyway.
Yeah.
That'd be cool, yeah, to do that. I don't know what time of the year that falls on. Anyway, but
May.
So yeah,
June. Actually.
July, August, September.
End of June.
You know what we really should go to?
What?
Evo.
No.
Right. We always say, you guys need to look like retroactively listen to like episodes and count how many times we said that. I think we said that
every year.
And
I always also say, oh, I really want to get into fighting games, and then I try. I'm like, oh yeah, I forgot I suck at fighting games.
It's like, oh, I forgot. It requires work.
Yeah, and I just don't have that much time to put into that, but. So, yeah, Maddie was alluding to what we've been playing. We've all been playing a lot of games. So why don't we start with, we'll go counterclockwise. Why don't we do that?
Okay.
Since Nick, I feel like, has played the least of the three of us, which is ironic because he usually has been playing the most.
I like the Switch. It's nice.
The Switch is a good console. Yeah,
I like
it's pretty fun.
This Switch.
Yeah, my Switch is really good.
What do you need to do?
Is Nick gonna play some kind of sound effect? What are you doing right now?
No, I'm looking at the thingy.
What thingy?
I'm looking at updates on my phone.
Why?
Why?
Frickin' talk, Taylor.
Okay.
Do your game.
Apparently you're starting. You're starting, Taylor.
Yeah.
No, you're starting.
Oh, you went like this, counterclockwise.
Okay, whatever.
Okay,
I'll start.
I guess I'll start.
No, fine. No.
It's too late, Taylor, now.
All right. Yeah. So, like I said, beat 3 games this week. One was Donkey Kong Country.
Which you've never beat before.
I've never beat before. Yeah, it took about 2.5 hours. That was a lot longer than I thought it was going to be. But yeah, fun game. No, but the real game I think that a lot of people cared about was Chrono Trigger. So I finally beat Chrono Trigger. I think it was Monday night. I stayed up extremely late.
You were like trying. You're like, I got to beat this.
Because I knew I was at the end. I was looking at a walkthrough just to kind of gauge where I was at. And I'm like, oh, I'm like pretty close to the end. And I kept asking people. So there's a final dungeon that's optional, which is really weird because the way Chrono Trigger works is if you go to a certain time period, you can just fight the final boss anytime you want.
1999.
Which I did on accident once. I like was clicking through the time periods too fast, and I went there. I'm like, crap! So I had to reset my Vita. And so I'm like, should I do this? I'm like, you know what? I'm doing this for like historical purposes. I want the full experience, so let's just go through the final dungeon. But yeah, I did the final dungeon. I beat the final boss, but the final boss does a lot of random stuff, and so it killed me. I'm like, no, I'm not going to bed until I beat this. So I played it again. And I beat it. But people always say that game holds up really well. Very true. I think the hardest part, at least for me, when going back to play old JRPGs is random battles and confusing like dungeon design, and this doesn't have either. Like the way you just explore the world is pretty straightforward. The dungeon designs, like the dungeons aren't very big in this game, and any dungeons that are there, it's pretty easy to figure out where you're supposed to go. You just explore enough and you'll figure out your way. And then battles are on screen. You see the enemy, you bump into them, and then the battle just happens right there. Mm-hmm. Which not many games do that, even today. It usually swirls into a battle arena or whatever. But that, like the characters, the music, the story, like the thing that kept blowing me away was like the stuff the game was doing. Like, if you go back to this time period and then you go forward like 1,000 years, something you set in motion takes place later. Like all this crazy stuff. I'm like, how? Like this must have been mind blowing when the game came out. Like I was just constantly blown away that like a Super Nintendo game was doing this stuff.
Now you get why everyone loves that game,
right? Yeah, now I get it. I will say, if you play it now, you probably need a walkthrough at certain parts because there are parts where things would happen and I like wasn't sure what time period I was supposed to go to because you can hop around between I think like 6 different time periods. I'm like, I don't quite know which one to go to right now, and I would like constantly forget. I'm like, is this town in this time period? Like I got confused too many times, so I would use a walkthrough for that. But otherwise, the game is very straightforward with like, okay, this boss is weak to this attack, or like you want more magic or you want more physical attacks, and each character has their own strengths, weaknesses, or whatever. But yeah, overall, really, really good. And I think it holds up. Like I said, it definitely holds up especially compared to a lot of older JRPGs, even the ones that look better. Mm-hmm. Like especially like the PS1 Final Fantasies, even I would say, or a lot of PS1 JRPGs, just because they all stick with that old random battle kind of thing. But very good. Yeah, recommend it. I think it's way better than Lunar, Maddie. So if you ever want to go back and play a classic JRPG, I would recommend this.
Yeah, I remember you talking about like there's a slowdown.
Only at the very end of the game did I see that. But like, yeah, literally, I'm at the final boss and he has this really crazy wavy background thing. And so anytime I would do any move, it would be like, it was so slow. But other than that, the only thing that took a while that was a little bit slower than I would have liked is the pause menu. Like when you wanted to like swap gear out, it didn't happen like immediately. But other than that, I didn't really see a big problem with slowdown. Oh, and I also want to say the cutscenes are amazing. Like it looks like good Dragon Ball anime, like at its peak. Like the animation's amazing. I mean, it's Akira Toriyama, the same guy that does Dragon Ball, so that's that same art style. But it's just really good for a animated cutscene from the PS1 days or Super Nintendo days, even. Excuse me. I Although I think those got added in the remake for DS and PS1. I don't think those were on Super Nintendo. But it looks really good, and they happen just often enough to be interesting.
But is that as good as Tales of Hysteria, the X?
The X? The animation?
Yeah.
I don't know.
He hasn't watched it yet.
Yeah, that animation is
So good.
ridiculous.
I don't know. This one's
It is
really
like-
good, too.
No, it's like,
Oh my god.
holy crap. This is what happens when anime has like an unlimited budget and they don't have to cut corners. It's ridiculous how this anime looks.
Really? Okay, I'll have to check it out.
Freaking
Well, the thing with this is there's not a lot of cutscenes, so I think they probably could take the time to do it really well, because there's not like maybe an hour total of cutscenes, if that. So, but like I was just so happy to cross that off my list, because I was looking at my, checklist of shame or whatever, and I'm like, man, I'm so glad to knock off Chrono Trigger, because that is one that people always talk about. And I'm a huge JRPG fan, obviously, and that's just one I just never got around to. And so it just felt good to do everything in that game and do it right, because there's a part at the end of the game where it offers you 6 side quests. Think of it as like in Mass Effect 2, when you have to do your character specific, like, oh, my family's on this planet.
Yeah, and you don't do it, they die.
Yeah, so it was like that, except obviously they don't die. It's just like, here's the best armor for Robo or the robot, or here's how you power up the Masamune for Frog. It was just the best gear in the game. So like, it was cool to go back and do that. They're not super long. They're interesting. Give some, context to some of the characters. So did all that. Did... like I said, the final dungeon, which was extremely long.
Did you get their final limit break?
Maybe. I don't know what the final limit break is. Is there
a limit break in that game?
They're called arts, and there are triple arts. So if you have 3 characters that combo together, you can like do a cross slash thingy, which I did a lot. But then there was 2 items I got that like open up a certain technique, but you have to have that item equipped, and I never did that. So maybe. But I got I got the best sword, all the best gear.
Nice.
Yeah, but yeah, that like, if you just want to dive into a JRPG that's got tons of secrets and tons of things to do, I mean, by the time I beat the game, my hour count was 20 hours, so it's not extremely long. But again, I also did everything, and I was using a walkthrough, so I was kind of for the hard parts, so I was speeding it along pretty well. But anyway. Nobody's talking, so I'll stop my rambling real quick. But also, I just kind of finished up Pokemon Sun. I
read your tweet, and you were like, "Whoa! I just turned this on, and I already beat it." Okay.
I was like way closer to the end of that game than I realized. I'm like, oh, I'm only 20 hours in. I probably got another 20 to go. And then I did one more trial, and then it was the Elite Four. I'm like, oh, I guess I'm done.
Nice.
Yeah. So that was fun. I mean, Pokemon's always fun. That one's
that maybe to you.
Yeah, I just think that series just keeps getting better, and it refines systems. I like Pokemon X and Y better than Pokemon Sun and Moon. I don't know why. I don't know if it was just like my return to Pokemon, because I hadn't played one since Red and Blue. So playing X and Y, it's 3D. They have all these systems that make it way easier to like whatever. And then like literally at one point in the game, they're like, oh, do you want Squirtle, Charmander, or Bulbasaur? It just literally gives you one of those at some point in the game.
Those 2 literallys in one sentence.
Literally.
Calm down, Nick.
That's my thing. And what's Nick's thing that he doesn't like saying? Like the thing is, or what is
I
it?
kept catching myself saying
Yes,
the thing is.
So that's yours. My thing is literally, and then Maddie's. I don't know if she has.
We'll find Maddie's.
Hella.
No,
Hella?
That's just Northern California.
That's true, but I also say it a lot.
Yeah. And then so just knock that out real quick, and then I'm in the middle of playing the PS4 version of Final Fantasy 9 because my PC just refused to let me play that.
Does the PS4 version have all the?
It does.
goodies?
Yeah.
Okay, so that's why you're like.
Well, so here's what I'm just straight up doing this because I've replayed this game so many times. I'm just like skipping all of it to get to the point where I stop playing because I'm just like, whatever. Every hit does 9,999. Turn off random battles. Like I don't care. I'm just getting as far as I can, as quick as I can. And
okay,
then,
Taylor, you're not going to beat this game. I'm just gonna say it. You're gonna stop it.
See, Nick, I see what Nick's doing. He's doing the reverse psychology thing. No, this will be my Christmas break RPG, even though I don't really get a Christmas break because my work is weird.
We're in Christmas break right now.
This weekend is Christmas break. Yeah. I do have Christmas Day off because that's Monday, and then I think I have that Friday off for some random reason. So,
because it's New Year's.
Well, New Year's is Monday, the following Monday, but we have that Friday off, which is the 29th, which is nothing, but whatever. Anyway, yeah, that game just has a cool vibe to it. Final Fantasy IX has great music. The remastered version where they updated the character models, it looks really nice. So,
does it still have those weird menus?
The weird menus?
I just noticed that the menus look really weird. It's not like the PS1 version.
Yeah, they PC-ified it. Like they're just like, how can we put the most generic, crisp like menus? And they did that. I'm like, it's fine, I guess.
I don't like it.
But yeah, I would say that probably has the best cast of characters in any Final Fantasy, even though they're not voiced.
Which is the weirdest thing because you've never beat this one.
But I've played it so many times
I know,
though, and I've gotten pretty
so
far.
Weird. Like you beat 7, you've beat 8, you've beat 10, but not 9.
You beat 8. That story was so confusing.
Yeah,
when we listen to that, what happens in 8?
What the heck is happening?
Yeah, because that was like a nostalgia game for me. Like when I at 8, I just wanted to beat it. I'm like, all right, let's just sit down and beat this thing. And the game that I love the world of 8. Great music, great like towns and stuff. So I love just walking around in that game. But like fighting sucks. Like the story is I don't know what's happening.
So she's in the future, but she's like attacking the past, but she wants to create the spell that merges time so she can be in the present, in the future, and the past. It's like, what the heck's going on?
Yeah. 8 is so ridiculous. 9 is extremely straightforward. It's like a throwback. It's like there's a crystal and there's an evil dude. You gotta save the crystal from the evil dude. It's pretty straightforward. And you're a monkey guy. Yeah.
Nice.
Zidane, just a fun-loving, plucky...
So if that happens in... the new Tales where it's the mana tree and you gotta get all the great spirits and save the mana tree, I'm gonna be mad.
Isn't it a great thing we have to save the spirits?
Save the spirits. I am the Lord of Spirits, Maxwell.
No, because the end of the Tales of Zestiria anime says the shepherd's journey continues. I think it's a hint.
Dun dun dun. Maybe.
What? In the game?
Well, there always has to be a
Because
shepherd.
the anime is totally canon now. It's more canon than Zestiria.
That's what Tales of that's what the Switch Tales game is. It's gonna be Tales of Zestiria F.
Just the remake
Or
version.
R. It's just gonna be remade and it's gonna have all the fixes in it, and the story is gonna make sense a little more.
Be amazing.
And
As
that's
long
when
as it
Taylor will play it and be like, "This is awesome."
Dude, as long as it has that dragon battle, I need that dragon battle.
I fought a dragon battle.
No, you
It
don't.
needs to have that.
Yeah, no, it's the brother or whatever.
Yeah,
the first time
that's not the dragon battle.
it is a dragon battle.
And you don't fight it.
Yeah, I fought it.
No, you ran away.
You ran away.
He doesn't even remember. Nick.
Yeah.
But you fight
He
it.
needs that dragon battle.
You do damage to it, but then you run away.
Yeah.
But I still fought it. I didn't kill it, but I fought it.
Yeah. Kill it.
Kill
Like
it.
I did.
Kill with
Did
fire.
you actually?
Yeah.
How dare you?
What? It was.
I'm mad at you now.
It was this.
He's right behind you, and you don't even pay attention. You don't care about his feelings.
It's what he wanted.
No, it's not.
That's what he wanted.
Because
yeah.
in the end, never
He
mind.
wanted to die.
Can't say it now.
That's
It's the anime.
that's
The
what
anime's.
That's what it was, a side quest.
No.
And then what happens?
How
is,
could you?
And I was like, I'm gonna do everything in this game.
How could you?
And I did it, and I finished it, and I gave Edna a hug.
There you go.
Aw.
Yeah.
He's still right behind you, though.
All right. Well,
No one knows what right behind me.
that was a lot. So Nick,
So, Nick, what have you been
what
playing?
you been playing? The Xenoblades
thing?
and stuff.
the Xenoblade Chronicles 2.
One of the worst JRPGs ever.
It's the worst thing ever made. I hate it. It's too long. No, it's okay. It's pretty fun. It's overwhelming. I like.
In what way?
It's just there's so much to do, and to like level up your characters, you need to level up your blades, and blades are like loot boxes because you have a core, and then you do it, and you get a random blade, and sometimes you get a rare one, and sometimes you don't, and then you get the rare cores, and you're like, oh sweet, this guarantees a rare one. No,
It reminds me of the original Destiny, where you get like a rare shard and it didn't give you rare items. Like, what's the point then?
So I was like, I got a rare. The first time I was like, I got a rare one. Sweet, I'm gonna get my first rare blade, and it's it's a common one level. I'm like, oh, it's cool. It's cool. And then I just like I was pissed off. I'm like, okay, I'm gonna do a common core. I get a rare. Makes sense.
Yeah, of course.
Makes sense. And I was like, sweet. I got a rare. What's it gonna be? What hot babe am I gonna get now? I get a big giant beach ball. I'm like, okay. Okay.
That's awesome.
Thank you, game. It's cool. I like it. But yeah, I have a lot of rare blades now. It's fun.
Nice.
Yeah, so there's a lot of you have to do specific things for your blades to like level them up sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
And I've been doing a lot of that, and then I decided that I actually want to continue the story. Maybe I could, because some of these like requirements, like I got the girl I showed you before the podcast, Perun, I think's her name, Perun. She's like a knight, and to level her up, you have to do you have to help people, and I'm like, okay. What does that consist of? It doesn't tell me what I'm supposed to do. And apparently I have to do it's like later on in the game, so I can't really level her up until later on in the game.
Whoops.
But she's an awesome character. She's fun.
Cool.
At first I thought it was a Xenosaga character because it looked like it was like ridiculous. She looked ridiculous sometimes. At the beginning it was just like a close up of her boobs. I'm like, okay, I got you. And I thought it was a Cosmos or something like that. Mm-hmm. But no.
Got it.
Game's fun. I enjoy it, but it's definitely a Xeno game, and I don't know why people are actually surprised that the girls are extremely hot. What Xeno game doesn't have that?
X, because everybody's ugly in that game?
Well, the faces are. So I was like, it's a Xeno game. Of course there's girls in it. Even in Xenoblade Chronicles 1.
Yep.
Come on. You could dress them up in freaking jungle outfits. But other than that, the game is
pretty good.
Yeah, plenty of fodder. I think that's what it is, but there's none in the city that I'm at now. And sometimes it doesn't do anything when I talk to those people with the trophies in their head. Mm-hmm. There's like this little kid in the city saying, I lost this chessboard and I want to find one. And I'm like, okay, do I buy a chessboard? I bought a chessboard and brought it back. Nothing happened. I'm like, okay.
That's weird.
Okay, I got you. Because it doesn't really tell you what you're supposed to do. You're supposed to think.
Well, it wouldn't be my game. I don't like thinking.
Yeah, that's why. Why did I say not to play this game? Because it requires you to look around and talk to people. Two things you don't like to do.
Exactly. That's why I didn't.
Unless there's a random campfire right next to a cliff where there's a cave, and I gotta see these embers. I gotta know what they mean.
Exactly.
Why are they put
Why
there?
are they here?
Taylor, stop it. Yes. Who cares?
Yes.
But yeah. I have been playing this game. Oz.
Yep.
But yeah. So I just yesterday I started doing the story and I got to chapter 4. And it was this huge cutscene in the middle of it, and it was really cool. Like, it's starting to get interesting. It's getting interesting. I like this. It's good. It's good. It's good. It's good. It's good. Nice. And that's what I've been playing.
Nice.
Because I didn't play a bunch of games at the beginning of the week because I didn't feel good. Now I'm starting to feel better. So I've been playing that. And that's what I'm probably going to be playing after this podcast.
Nice. Madeline.
Hi.
It's time for Maddie the Fangirl. Let's do it.
Fangirl.
Go.
How's Angry Reen?
His name's Ko, actually.
Angry Reen.
Thank you.
Oh wait,
bastards.
before.
No.
I want to talk. Oh no, before Tokyo Xanadu. I noticed that the girl was wearing a skirt, and you could jump up and you could see her underwear. I'm like, oh, it's cool. It's cool. It's cool. Maddie does that all the time.
In Tokyo Xanadu?
Yeah.
When were you watching me play?
I was like, that's cool.
Okay.
I mean, I saw it at the PSX when somebody was playing the demo.
Yeah, that was me playing as White Shroud.
No, and that PSX.
Oh, the demo. Right,
yeah.
Right.
You had the girl
Asaka.
and Angry Reen.
Asuka, my bad.
And I was like, okay,
Elisa and Angry Reen, yeah.
That's not. Why is that in a Falcom game? That's interesting.
It's because you don't pay attention. You know what? Okay, so. God, guys never fucking change. Anyway,
One reason why I said that because I knew it was gonna.
Because I knew it was gonna piss her off. Because I love pissing off Maddie. Yes, we know, Nick.
Okay, so
we're
next
playing
thing
Tokyo
is
Xanadu, and I played. I think I'm 13, 14 hours in now, and I just started chapter. Actually, no, I didn't. I'm at the end of chapter 3, doing that side story. It's good. It's good. It's fun. The combat, the beginning, what you played, Taylor, is really slow because you didn't have anything. You had nothing.
Oh, okay.
You had basic attack, and I think you might have unlocked like your range attack. I don't think you even unlocked your range.
No, the range was in there. I remember
so you
that.
unlocked
Yeah.
the range attack. You did not unlock power attack. You did not unlock flying attack. You did not unlock any of your 2 special attacks, and then you have like a super drive where 2 characters fly in and you could do a bunch of damage. Whoa. So anyway, combat gets a lot more intense, which is fun, as well as there's a lot of systems in this game. I have never played Xenoblade, but it might
Doesn't even come close.
okay, whatever, but it's really complex
Okay.
as well because there's a lot of separate
in what
things.
way?
So there's affinities like in Ys, right, where it's slashing, but instead there's 7 different affinities. And you level up. There's 3 different ways to level up characters. Is you level up your soul bind or you level up your friendship rating. Each one does something different, and your soul bind helps your drive ability, and if you do 2 of the same characters, each one does a separate thing. Yeah.
Is soul binding like social links?
No.
Oh, okay.
It's so.
Is there anything like social links?
Sort
Don't do it.
of.
Want to spoil
Don't
the
you
game?
dare take out that art book,
It's too late.
Taylor.
It's too
You
late.
put that art book back, Taylor.
Continue.
I haven't looked at that art book, so you can't look at that art book. And he's looking at the art book. Okay, so.
I looked at it already. The other
Did he?
when you
Did
came,
you?
yeah.
How dare you? But no, because each dungeon is is called a stage, and you can rerun them. It's kind of like
that's
it's kind
interesting.
of like think of what's interceptions in Ys 8, except they're dungeons. So you get ranks and stuff.
Type 0. Okay. Interesting.
And based on how well you rank in each time you do the dungeon / redo the dungeon, you get soul points depending on who you used in the stage, and that will level up your soul level, which in turn will unlock abilities if you use those characters together. And I only have 4 right now, and I believe who's on the front?
So that's 4.
There's 3 more to unlock.
5.
There's 7.
Wait, so what's the blonde girl? What's her name?
Asuka, the one right next to Uriko.
So there's Asuka, and then there's purple Asuka.
No, it's other Laura.
Oh, my bad. Sorry.
Oh my god. Okay.
I'm just saying that because they look extremely similar to a lot of other Falcom characters.
Yes, because it's cool. Okay, so that's the fun part about this game is, and I'll bring Kathleen into it. She thinks this is like a modern, this modern Cold Steel, basically, right?
Mhm.
Because Falcom deliberately, this is the parallel of Cold Steel is in this world, and now we're playing this world, right? Cold Steel is a video game inside Tokyo Xanadu. Because you run into multiple shops and stuff, and Falcom puts all these hints of there's Ys 8 on the video game shelf, and on the TV and the electronics store, there's a Cold Steel 2 trailer playing, and
That's random.
There's a Sen 3 poster up, and in the bookshop and everything, there's the actual Trails manga on the shelves.
But Maddie, is Rem's favorite, or is Rem? Is Reen's favorite book in this game?
No, Reen's favorite book is
Jesus, who's gonna die next is not in this game.
Oh yeah, I pulled Kathleen in and I summoned her. From the depths.
Comes out later.
Dang it. Okay.
Timeline.
Okay.
But yeah, so there's a lot of self-insert Falcom stuff in just the world of running around and stuff, which is fun. And I feel like you guys aren't even paying attention.
We're listening.
You guys are the worst.
We're putting the book away.
Yeah, good. So
Taylor's.
there is a lot of school activities.
Okay, tell me about this is the thing that has had me the most interested. I know you were telling me a little bit about it earlier. You were trying to relay what Kathleen said, but this is, I assume the combat would get more complex and harder and stuff like that, but the school stuff is kind of what is piquing my interest about this game. So tell me about that.
Okay, so think Cold Steel bonding points. You get those, right? You get those bonding points, and you could have friendship episodes depending on who you want to talk to, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. You could do quests. In real life, you pull out your phone. Your phone is tied to a lot of things. Okay, it's
Real life.
yeah. But there's basically a main forum that has everything you ever need on it, and it's what everyone's using, and it's part of the game. It's called Niar or something, and in it people will post their problems. So think of it as the fan site, and people post who they need help.
Oh, that's interesting.
They need help
Okay.
with. Except people will post hey, I need help. I need help finding my wallet, or hey, I need these materials from the other world that only we know about, but I'm posting it on this public forum because I know you can help me, right? So it's a blend between the other world called the Eclipse that some people don't know about, but other people's know about, and I'm in the process of who actually knows about this and who doesn't. Feels like this whole town is oh my god. It's fun twists, but you get a bunch of quests and stuff, and like you could check out using the phone. You could check out like what shops have what at what time, and like certain unlocks and stuff. It's like really good to like check where everything is without having to run into each and every store and just open up their tab and be like, okay, do you have anything new? Okay, do you have anything new? Like you can check it all on your phone.
Why don't the shops just always have the same stuff? Like what changes? Just different weapons or different like potion-y?
So like it's kind of like collecting things. So like it will be, as you progress through the story, new armor upgrades will unlock. So it'll be like, hey, this has the PE clothes. Like the school store suddenly restocked PE clothes, and apparently PE clothes are really good in the other world to fight. But they'll be like, hey, this new armor upgrade unlocked. Like you could go check it out. Like and I forgot the other thing. Oh, you could collect books that will level, because the main character Ko has 3 stats you level up, which is courage, wisdom, and virtue. And you level it up by like completing dungeons to do courage, obviously. Virtue is completing quests and like reading books and answering quizzes, right? Because you will get, teachers will like ask you questions in the middle of class sometimes. And if you give the right answer, your wisdom will increase.
Like Persona.
Yeah. But like there's several other things you need to do. Like you could go to the library, and if there's a new book, you could grab it, read it, and be like, oh, your wisdom increased. Or you walk around and be like, hey, the bookstore just got a new book in. Let's go buy it so you could increase your wisdom. Or this random store in the middle of nowhere has a new recipe, and food is really useful in combat and stuff. So it's like, hey, you get this new recipe, so now you can get all this stuff and not spend money.
So do you like this game, Maddie?
Yes.
Oh, you're rambling on and on and on, and I want
Because
to
Taylor wanted to know.
It's just telling you if you were, because you look like you really like it.
Okay. Well, I like the game because they're tributes to Cold Steel. It's hilarious. The combat's really addicting. After playing Lunar, I wanted to play something challenging, so I put this game on Nightmare.
Is it just as challenging?
It's a lot challenging because I put this game one step below the highest level. I put it on Nightmare, so you die in 2 hits. How many levels are there?
Yeah.
I don't know. They're dungeons, so.
No, how many
levels of difficulty?
There's easy, normal, hard, Nightmare, chaos. So I'm on the 4th step.
Nice.
Out of 5.
Where does it start? What's the default?
Normal.
Normal.
Yeah. It's all like normal for people who want to have a fun time, hard for people who want to challenge, Nightmare for people who enjoy punishing themselves, which is so true because
Have you had points where you haven't saved for a while and it's died, or there's a lot of retries?
It depends. I've had moments. I save a lot because there's actually reminders, like before you go into dungeons, like save. There's relics in the dungeons. That's like the orbal posts. So it's like, oh, should save here and stuff. While you're in the dungeon, which is a stage, you can't actually save at all times. You can only save at relics.
Is there autosaves? Like,
no
autosaves.
No.
Not in a Falcon game. It's amazing.
There's been multiple times where I'm running in the middle of this, in the middle of a stage. And I get careless for 1 second, and I get hit, like 2 of my characters are low. I'll get hit with one thing, and the move will still be going. And then my other character switches in and immediately gets hit with the other thing because I didn't have time to block or anything, and I'd have to restart the whole stage.
Oh my god, that would
So there's been a couple times where that happens, and it's just like, I'm going to beat you, game. You're not going to beat me. It's fun.
So you'll play on normal, Taylor.
I was thinking maybe playing hard. I'm still not totally sure if I want to get this. Maybe if it goes on like sale or discount or something. So the other thing I remember you were telling me, like, also hooked you for the story was like, oh, what's going on with this eclipse thing? Is the hook of the story interesting, or is it just sort of like the whole game is like just everything it's doing is kind of doing it for you? Kathleen just said something. The stages are relatively short, so it's not like you ever lose like hours of progress. It's more like you lose 15 minutes. Okay, well that's good because I remember the Cold Steel dungeons being some of them being kind of long, or they felt long.
Right.
So it's quicker than those.
But what was the question you just asked?
The question was like, is the story hooking you enough to keep you going, or is it just the game overall? Like everything it's doing is what you're digging about it.
Overall, what it's doing is what I'm digging about it, but the story is still like, because they used the actual historical event of 17 years ago now, in 2005 when the huge earthquake hit Japan. Mm-hmm. That's used as a backstory right now, and it's tying into basically the eclipse right now.
Okay.
And so like they're using a real life event to tie into the story, and we have no idea really what this is and stuff. So it's like in the baby stages of like, hey, we entered the shadow world, we can save people from it, but we don't know who the big bad is. You know what I'm saying? Like in Persona. So it's like we're in the stage of just like learning more about this. This is getting a lot bigger than we thought. Like, oh.
Yeah.
So it's going to turn into there's a God. Society is willing to end itself because it's in misery. And if that happens, Maddie, you're going to laugh.
I will. I've called several points, which it's a Falcom game and it's kind of easy to call points. It's fun. But hands down, best part about this game is going to the arcade and fishing for an hour and a half.
That's what Kathleen was just saying in chat.
Because she watched me fish for an hour and a half.
That's awesome. And by the way,
because you want to know why?
What do you get good stuff out of it, or?
No, because it's Reen.
Oh, wait, Reen is the fish.
Reen is so the arcade has an Estelle mini game, but that you can't play for some reason. A Demon Reen fishing mini game. Where his outfit is the best, and you go into stages, like actual stages in Cold Steel, and start fishing, and like it plays like Ebel Highway music in Ymir Valley and stuff. Like you go into Cold Steel and you start fishing. It's actually a good way to get medals. And then there's the magical Princess Elisa like thing where you actually like play whack-a-mole with Elisa in like a princess outfit, and you start hitting things. And then there's a Blade, and then there's a Blade arcade game, which is another good way of getting. Medals, which can actually give you some pretty good accessories for Demon Prince Reen is actually pretty hot. So it's fun to fish because I enjoyed fishing.
Girls, right? That's all they think about.
I know, hot guys. But the fishing mechanic, I enjoyed fishing in Final Fantasy 15. I enjoyed fishing in Cold Steel. I enjoyed fishing in like almost every game I've come across. So I went into this and I was like, ooh, fishing. And I'm like, this fishing game is amazing. So I actually spent an hour and a half in the arcade.
So I'm going to retort to Kathleen. That's every Persona story, by the way. Just telling you. So
yeah. Oh, guess she was saying that Tokyo Xanadu.
She was saying that Tokyo Xanadu is older than P5. But what about P4? What about P3? It's the same thing.
And by the way, Kathleen, I just wanted to reply to something she said earlier. She said, "Oh, I'm not good at explaining things." You're totally fine at explaining things. I'm just trying to get multiple people's take on this game because it like on paper it seems like something I'd like, but like in execution, I'm like, I don't know if it's getting there.
See, I need to play it so I can tell you.
Okay.
You trust Nick?
Yes, because I'm always right.
Maybe I need to just watch one of your streams because like
maybe
yeah, that might help. Are they still archived?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, maybe I'll go back.
Yeah. Yeah. Because as the first time I went through this and I played a boss with the two main characters at the time, and I didn't have really anything unlocked. That boss was hard. Like I spent 20 minutes trying to figure out the pattern. You had to play it because I'm playing Nightmare, so you have to play it like perfectly, and damage is kind of low and stuff like that. So it's like it was really hard, but I enjoyed it because after Ludar, I really wanted a challenge. I enjoyed thinking about it and realizing boss does this, do this in response, react, stuff like that. As I'm going to the boss I finished yesterday. I did the same thing. I died once because I like to I go in, figure out what does this boss do. This boss does this. Okay, let's figure it out. And I go from there. And now that I now have 4 different characters, and you can only play 3 in each stage. But as you go through the boss, you have so many new abilities. You have the drive, you have the extra skill, you have your S-craft, and then you have the fly attack, power attack, like all these extra things to help you cope and figure out what to do. That there's a much more different ways to beat it. Rather than just learn the pattern and don't F up. It's now, hey, if you do this at the right time, you could actually cancel this move and stuff like that, So it's like, as more things are opening up, game is getting easier, but not.
Got it.
It's like Platinum Games?
Yeah, I wish. Cool. Well, something we'll have to check out. So
I figured out your quirk, Maddie.
What?
You don't say things, you talk with your hands.
Yeah.
So
I already knew I talk with my hands.
Literally, I say, was it?
Oh my god!
The thing is,
and then the hands.
Wait, Nick.
Yes.
Toa Sensei is best Sensei.
I know.
That's what Nick was showing me earlier in the book.
Toa.
I already know.
Is the best character in this game, and it's legit Toa, which ties in back to the fact that it's like these games are connected.
That was the first waifu until Sarah came into the picture.
Toa came in clutch in a certain story moment. It was great. Toa's hilarious.
Spoilers.
She gives me a hug. Cool.
All right. Well, we're almost at the 2-hour mark, so let's answer some questions, and then we'll
answer a little bit of questions, not long ones.
Stream Tokyo Xanadu.
All right. So,
So
from Smashimus, if you could play one JRPG for the rest of your life, what would it be? Also, one game in general. Same question.
Oh, that's hard. Because it's like, do you pick one that's replayable, or do you play one that has a ton of content? If see, here's the thing with like JRPGs for me are all about stories, and like especially like Personas, is sometimes it's about the mystery. And once you know the mystery, it's like, well, what's even the point? Gosh, I don't know. If one of you guys have an answer, you feel free to say it. But
if it's just one game in general, it'd probably be WoW, because that's been holding on for pretty long.
Yeah. Hard to argue with that one.
Yeah.
God, I don't know. Is maybe lame of an answer as this would be like Skyrim, maybe, like because you can always replay, pick a different route.
No. Skyrim.
Well, that was not a JRPG answer, but yes, as
No,
game
but
in general.
For you, Matt Taylor, though, would you like Skyrim?
No, I've played Skyrim on PC a lot. Actually, it's a fun game. You have to mod the hell out of it, but it's fun.
So no modding, no mod.
Why?
Just saying, no mods. It's just the game.
I mean, it's still a fun game otherwise. I'm just saying from a pure like amount of content standpoint. Oh, but you know what?
there you go,
Actually,
Witcher.
that might be a better answer because that game's
3?
super long with like the complete edition because it has all the expansions and stuff like that. Nick's making sure the stream is still on, I think, in case people are wondering why he keeps going like this.
It's because everything like crashed in my.
Well, it's fine. Everything's
Yeah.
fine.
For JRPG, I don't. Man.
Does it have to be one, or can it be a series?
Nope.
series.
Nope. That's the
Last
question.
one.
That's what
Screw
makes it hard.
that.
No, that's what makes it hard. You have to pick
Pick
one.
your favorite Tales game.
Why Tales? I'd play if I had to pick a favorite game.
It'll be Lunar. I know already. Okay. It's Lunar. I get it.
Very unoriginal. If
Hmm.
I was allowed to do a series, it'd probably be Trails.
Lunar.
One. I don't know. I would probably
Trails
pick
over
Persona 5 just because there's a lot of characters that I didn't go into their confidant link with like at all. Like I didn't touch that at all. There's so many little secrets and nods and like things to explore in that game. I'd probably pick that just because it seems like there's a lot to do in that. Maybe for nostalgic purposes, I would also maybe say Final Fantasy VII. Just because I mean, this is another question that's coming up, but I've replayed that game so many times, and it just never gets old. There's like always new things to do. There's new characters to play as, because I usually stick to my same two characters. I usually always play with Sid and Tifa, but there are a ton of characters I never played as, and there are a ton of things I still haven't really found in that game. So, yeah, but either Persona 5 or Final Fantasy 7.
Ease 8 might be a good one for me, honestly, just because I enjoyed the combat so much. Even though I know the story, I enjoyed just killing things.
Sure. Yeah.
With Hummel.
Nikolai? Tales of Destiny remake, obviously.
Tales of Destiny remake in English.
Oh, okay. Nope, can't have it in English.
do it.
It's not in
No,
English.
not
Can't
in
do it.
English.
Can't mod it. Nope.
Can't do it.
OG Tales of Destiny, maybe?
If I could only play one JRPG for the rest of my life, I would kill myself.
That's the question, though.
Because you could only play. Because it's like I've already beat this game.
I know, that's what's hard about it.
Yeah, probably just Tales of Destiny original. You could always go back to that game.
And then what about just a game in general?
MechWarrior.
MechWarrior?
MechWarrior 2 Mercenaries.
That's an interesting pick. All right, cool.
It's always fun.
All right, cool.
Ay. That hurt me. Just
Actually, you know what? I take it back. I'm going to say Rogue Legacy.
there you go.
Because I've beaten that game like literally 13 times, and it's still not old, so I would say Rogue Legacy.
But Maddie's WoW was like a perfect pick.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
That game has like an infinite amount of
Infinite
content.
replayability.
Yeah.
Okay. What genre of game is your least favorite?
Or.
Horror, okay.
Horror? Who are you calling a horror?
Oh, you.
My least favorite, probably like not strategy RPG, but just pure strategy, just like straight up strategy games like Civ and Total War and stuff like that. I'm just so bad, and I can't understand those games. So I would probably say that just
Can't
straight up
understand
strategy.
Civ?
Any game requires thinking.
Exactly. I don't play games to think hard. I just want to have fun. And those games, you have to just plan too much. I'm like, oh god. Or I don't know if this is considered a genre, but like the games where you have to make the content, like Little Big Planet or like Disney Infinity, those kind of games. Like I just suck at making my own fun. I'm like, no, you make the fun for me. I'm not good at making my own fun. So
So I forgot to say that was from Spaghetti.
okay.
What genre of game is my least favorite? Anything that starts with Xeno.
They're all terrible.
They're all
bad.
terrible. It's just the worst. I feel bad. I keep trolling him.
White Knight Chronicles?
No.
No.
What if you had the only game you could ever play forever is White Knight Chronicles?
I would learn to love it. If I had GeoNet still, I probably would still like it.
I see.
Sports games.
Okay.
I thought you liked Tony Hawk.
That's not a sports game.
I mean,
I'm
An
talking
extreme
about like normal
you
sports
talking
games.
about
Like
like
baseball.
MLB
like
Show or
baseball.
Madden?
Yeah, it's like play the damn sport, people. Come on.
Yeah.
You can play that. You can play it. No, I'm just joking. This is not for me. I get why people like it, but that's the mindset that I have whenever I play. I'm like, I could just be playing this myself.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For sure.
I could actually be outside playing this.
Yeah. But I'm changing my answer for the last thing.
What?
The game I would always want to play, Tony Hawk Pro Skater 3.
Okay. It's a good answer. Very replayable. There's a lot of levels. Have you ever played 4?
Yes, I own it.
Hey, Nick,
4
have
is
you
really
ever
good.
played 5?
Yes, I have owned it.
Have you ever played 6? No.
6 is not out. No, remember, Tony Hawk Pro Skater 5 came out like a couple of years ago.
I know, and
Yeah.
you hated it. That's why I said it.
It was.
Everybody hated it. It was
Yeah.
It
terrible.
was hilarious.
What were they thinking?
Okay, next question.
From Craftium, with Persona 3, 4, and 5 color schemes being blue, yellow, and red, what would you think Persona 6's will be?
I think we've talked about this before.
We have.
Didn't we say orange or green?
Orange or green, yeah.
Yeah, orange or green.
For some reason,
'Cause
like
I think purple's already been one, right?
yeah,
Purple. Actually, orange has technically been one too.
like
Second
one
one.
is like an orangish reddish color. So yeah, maybe
Wait.
green.
I think it's green.
Dang it.
Yeah.
I have the colors on my all-out attack I made with all the pro tags.
Oh.
I remember I used orange, purple, and
Yeah, so
one,
I get
two,
probably
so.
green. Is
Yeah, I think it's gonna be green. Yeah, I have a really
green's a
big
very
feeling
soothing
it's-
color.
or pink.
Pink.
No, pink was Persona 3.
What?
Pink was Persona 3 female protagonist.
Yeah, but the game
That's
itself.
what I was the joke I was gonna make. It was gonna be like Persona 6 is gonna be female protagonist, so it's got to be pink.
Oh God! If
I
they
think
did
that would be
I'll
cool if they did
so
a
mad.
female pro tag. They have
I
not
thought
done.
Catherine is pink.
Yeah, I was just
Doesn't
gonna say
Catherine
Catherine
count?
is very pink. Yep.
It's gonna be green.
It's gonna be black. It's just gonna be pure darkness.
Oh, actually, I can see them probably doing a black one.
That'd be cool.
They've
Anyway,
already done death though, so it's like you gotta figure out. They gotta figure out the themes. You know, gotta be.
The
Persona.
next god is just gonna be straight up Jesus.
Jesus just shows up in the game. That'd be amazing.
We already have Hitler. Why not Jesus?
Yeah, we had Hitler, so it's gonna be Jesus next time.
Mm-hmm.
Did everyone else? Oh, it's green. Okay, this is for you, Taylor.
For
From
me?
Smash
Oh my
Miss.
god.
For Taylor, since he's the only one who's tried the beta, what are your thoughts on Monster Hunter after giving it a try? How has it changed your thinking from the part experience? How do you like the group play? What weapons did you come out liking the best? Think it'll have the legs to last a long time? For you, in your mind.
Yeah. Well, there was only 3 monsters in the beta, so it was hard to get a grasp of like longevity. The one thing I worried about from a longevity standpoint is like, is it going to get boring just to like keep hitting things over and over? Because it's all it is. Like, we found it, let's hit it until it dies. So unless it gets extremely difficult, like they have like weird patterns or something like that. Because I was watching this one monster where it grows these spikes on the front of its claw, like its front legs or whatever, and when they grow, they're white. And over time, they turn black, and if you chip them off, you can chip them off when they're white, but when they're black, they're just super hard, and it's like a shell or like a shield or whatever. So there's got to be enough things like that where you have to really pay attention to certain body parts or attack patterns. Otherwise, it's just like, okay, it's just a bigger thing with more HP.
So have you had flashbacks from old monsters?
No, this is way better because the old Monster Hunter, it was split up into like zones that you had to load into every time. This is a completely seamless open world. So when you're chasing something down, you don't have to like load into the next area. It's just one big area, which is awesome because it makes it feel like you're really hunting this thing. It's intense. We had some really freaking awesome fights. It was me, Smash Miss Devil. Oh no, it was me, Smash, Spaghetti, and Wandy were all playing together during the last day of the beta, and we were trying to hunt. It wasn't a quest, but it was like the toughest monster in the beta, and we just didn't have enough time or skill or whatever it was. But it was really fun to hunt down the quest or do the quest, hunt down the monsters. So I had a ton of fun playing. It's totally different than from the 3DS, I feel like. a lot more environmental interaction. I've never played with friends before, so playing with friends it's like a totally different game. And as far as weapons goes, I started off with the bug glaive. I thought that was fun because you can like launch yourself and you can kind of fly around in the air. But then I picked up the long sword, which is like a super long katana, and it like every time you hit with it, it charges up this energy bar, and then you like release the energy and it does more damage. So that was really fun as well. So those are the two weapons I'm probably gonna go back and forth with. Oh, I tried the bow, but you had to like really wind the bow
slow,
up.
right?
Yeah, I didn't really like it that much. Although I can see its usefulness.
So here's the big question.
Mm-hmm.
Maddie, are you and Taylor going to be playing on the 22nd?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we'll definitely be playing.
Good.
I want to, get Maddie in there, especially with the veterans, because Smash and Wandy are huge Monster Hunter fans. So it was really helpful to have them in there, like explaining it to us. Especially because they had played. Some of the monsters are new, some of them are old, and from previous games, and they're like, oh, well, this is their weakness in the last game, which helped us. But yeah, just the seamlessness of the world, and just I think for me the visual upgrade helps a lot too, because it just looks way better than a 3DS game.
Nice.
So I'm gonna try to stick with it as long as I can. But they said they're already dedicated to like releasing free monsters for free, and then they're probably gonna do DLC, like, oh, here's a new area or something.
As opposed to free monsters for money.
What do you mean?
He said 3 monsters, not free.
No. I did say they're gonna add monsters for free, and then there's.
He said free monsters.
No, he said 3 monsters for free.
No, he said free monsters for free.
Did I? All right, whatever.
I don't think he did, but whatever.
I meant to say adding monsters for free.
There you go.
And then the DLC, I think, will be like pure new areas. I mean, they haven't really said, but they have said they're going to have paid content. I don't know what that is yet. But no loot boxes. They specifically said they're not going to do loot boxes.
No loot boxes.
Which I feel like would defeat the purpose of the game, because the whole point is you kill monsters to get their stuff. So if like, why would you even play the game if you could just buy the stuff?
Yeah.
Like, there's just no point.
That would make no sense. For time, you know, sometimes you don't play the game as much as other people, and you just need to buy the. We don't want to keep up with your friends, so you have the ability to buy it.
If you wanted to do that,
that's the free to play.
Sure, but I'm excited because it really did feel like, in some ways, a raid fight. Like especially when we fought the big Rathalos, which is like the big monster from like everybody knows it. It's like the series main character or something. So it was fun chasing that down because it would fly, it would light everything on fire, it would like drop us down in a pit, and then it'd like come down in this pit. It was just it was so much fun. There's just so much going on because these monsters are huge and everybody has different weapons. So yeah, no.
Big thumbs up for
Taylor. Big thumbs up. I'm very excited. That beta won me over for sure.
Nice.
But it's got to be with friends, because I think it wouldn't, like, I played it by myself just because nobody was online at one point. I'm like, that was fun, I guess, but you have to play with friends. Like, to me that's what makes it awesome. Yeah.
For you personally?
For me personally, I love this game. I love this game.
Very cool. Did it break new ground though?
Like a certain movie?
Yeah, I mean the ground did literally break in the game.
It literally broke new ground.
The ground did break.
Good.
Yeah.
It's good. So, we've been going for about 2 hours now, almost.
Yeah, almost.
So I think we have to end it there.
I think about an hour and 45 of those were me talking about Chrono Trigger, but
no, about like 30 minutes of you was Chrono Trigger. An hour was Maddie talking about Tokyo Xanadu.
I figured I was going to be worse because
and yeah,
and then another half an hour of magic time was me yelling about PSX.
There you go. Yeah. So half of it was you, half of it was Maddie, and the other half
Nick
was
just
PSX.
And the other half was Nick tossing insults.
Yes.
There we go.
Pew, 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 pew,
That's what he does best.
But only one person it affects, and it's Taylor.
And it's me.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, because he says you're not going to beat it. And I'm like, damn you, Nick, I am going to beat it.
Yeah,
it's reverse psychology.
That's how I do it.
So much reverse psychology.
So much. All right. So yeah, this is gonna be. I'm gonna give you a heads up. This is gonna be our last episode this year. We're gonna be taking a 2-week break. Christmas and New Year's are gonna be off, because that's when those holidays are. It's actually on Sunday, and then we'll be back the next week. If you haven't yet, please join our Discord. It's very active. A lot of people talk about everything, games, anime, anything you really want to talk about.
It's very cool.
Very cool. So if you haven't joined yet, if you're watching on YouTube, check out our Twitch, because we play games on stream often, and it's going to start, very much more often.
Mm-hmm.
And if you're on Twitch and you don't know who we are, we're actually on our YouTube channel, streaming on our YouTube channel as well. So the link is below in the description. So yes, thank you guys for everything. If we've missed your questions this year, we'll get to them next year. Thanks, and we'll see you later. Bye-bye.
Bye.